Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our number one priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net.
This is OJ Howard with Real Talk Sports.
What's up, guys? This is Tim Tebow. You're listening to Real Talk Sports.
This is Charles Woodson. Let me grab the mic. You ready? This is Charles Woodson with Real Talk Sports. Hey, it's your boy JB Smooth with Real Talk Sports.
The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice. Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
All right, we are trying to get our setup here done. It does apparently, our computer, our laptop is once again not working. So we're very thankful to those of you who have been with us here as we have tried to get this show on the road. We're hopefully going to try to do it now. I had to go to the emergency iPad here. So sorry, guys, I'm not in the proper light that I'm always in, but unfortunately we have to make it do what it do. And so now that we do not have the auspices of all of our lovely equipment, we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way because, again, the show must go on. So, again, we're very appreciative to you who all have bearing up under this as we have once again tried to get on the road and be on here on the Real Talk Sports Show. When anytime I do the show, I have to bring on the queen. She is there. Miss Tree Dolman is in the building. Let's see if I can bring her on right now. There she is. How are you? I'm doing great. I'm trying to make my way through all of this technological morass that we have going on here. So hang on a second. I'm going to take another quick commercial break, guys. I'm going to try to reload and get my headset and everything done. We'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show in just a moment. Hold tight, please.
Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net. Hey sports fans, tune in for live high school football Friday, 7:30 p.m. on RealTalkSports.net. Check out your favorite Metro Atlanta teams as they do battle on the gridiron. It's your high school game of the week, live streaming free Friday nights on RealTalkSports.net. For more sports coverage and great sports talk, catch the Real Talk Sports Show Tuesdays, 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch. Brought to you by Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, a business giving back to their community. Give them a call at 678-364-3979 or check them out online at Allen Vigil Ford. It's Jonathan Simmons, your commercial truck guy here at Allen Vigil Ford in Lincoln. Well, we didn't even want to wait till this one got cleaned up because it's the rarest of rare, a 2019 Ford Transit cargo van. That's right, we have a pre-owned cargo van in stock. Speaking of stock number is KKB 01805P. This is an absolute gem, a 2019, that's right, not a 16, not a 17, 2019 Ford Transit 250 cargo van. And guess what? It has got great mileage. Not 70, not 60, not 50, not even 30. This vehicle only has 12,865 miles on it. And fully equipped like most Transits, so it's got air conditioning, power windows, power door locks, Bluetooth connectivity for your phone, even has the heavy-duty running boards on both sides of the vehicle. Taking a look around, you can see it's virtually damage-free. On the back here, you got great visibility as you have rear door glass, and also on the side window glass. So for those of you who might be new to the transport business, visibility is not a problem here. Again, this is 2019 Ford Transit 250 cargo van in stock right here now at Allen Vigil Ford. And again, we haven't even cleaned this thing up. We're giving you guys the first shot. Now, if you need anything extra, side window glass, protection, darkened glass, no worries, we have vendors that can help you. But the main thing is, this is your shot to get a low mileage, late model Transit 250 cargo van. All right, remember, the best way to connect me is jonathan.simmons at allenvigilford.com. Or hey, just get right to the point. Call me on the cell, 678-410-9833. Office number 678-364-3979. We can do most of the transaction if you like, even by email as well. So again, come and check me out real soon because this won't last.
All right, we're back here, and I think we have the technology about as good as we're going to be able to get it here tonight. So let me get everybody back on the screen and welcome you guys all to the Real Talk Sports Show. There's the Queen. I know we also have the champion here with us, two-time Super Bowl winner, Mr. Tyrone Poole's in the building. We will bring him on right now. Tyrone, welcome back, sir.
Hello, Ms. Tree. How you doing, Minister? Hello, everybody watching and listening to Real Talk Sports.
Well, I'm not quite sure what's all been going on here with our happy internet, but nevertheless, we are persevering and pressing on. All right, guys, we had the big weekend of the big game. What was your guys' thoughts about Super Bowl 56? The Queen, you go first.
Well, my thoughts are I'm very excited. Matthew Stafford won a Super Bowl championship, and so I'm so happy for him. And everybody knows that I'm a big fan of him. He was our quarterback at the Detroit Lions, and everybody was saying, oh, we need a new quarterback. It's Matthew. He's awful. And I was like, no, it's not. And now he went to the Rams and won a Super Bowl. So clearly, people, it was not Matthew Stafford. So I am very proud of him. I'm very happy for the Rams, mainly because of him, actually only because of him. So, oh, no. And there's one of my Middle Tennessee alum is also on the team. So, and then also for the Whitmore, who got the award for the all the community service that he does. So number 77, pretty great guy as well. So I'm really happy for the Rams. It was a really good game. I was getting nervous towards the end, even after they scored the last touchdown, because we know in the NFL, if you have 40-something seconds, you can still go and score a touchdown down the field. So that's my thoughts. It was a great game.
No doubt. Let's go to Mr. Tyrone Poole. Tyrone, what were your thoughts about the game?
First and foremost, can you guys hear me clearly? I'm actually having a little problem with my mic.
I can hear you pretty good.
Sound a little low, but yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I have a problem with my mic. So, but is that clear enough? Am I good?
Yes, that's better.
Sound good on my end.
Turn up a little bit more. Well, my takeaways, number one, you don't necessarily have to be a first seed. You know, that stuff don't play out like it used to be, where you want to be the number one seed. You want to get into the dance. You want to get into the postseason. That's what you want. So we had two fourth ranked as far as seeding teams get to the Super Bowl. So again, you don't have to be the number one seed. That doesn't guarantee you a Super Bowl appearance. Number two thing I took away from it, that you can win with a superstar receiver. You don't need 2 or 3 superstars. You need one guy who you can go to who can get open. And Cooper Kupp was that guy. All right, just get him the ball. Cooper Kupp showed me a lot. And that guy, I'm like, he ranks right up there with Devontae Adams and, Diggs from Buffalo, Cooper Kupp. You know, that guy went out and he actually put the Rams on his back, okay? I like Cooper Kupp. And you don't want to wait until – this is for the Rams, Morris, the D coordinator. Don't wait until the end to put the heat on the opposing offense. I'm like, when he decided to start doing twists and twisting Von Miller and just doing games, so to speak, in the trenches, man, look at here. The Bengals offensive line did not know what to do. And actually, I think they have exposed already bad. I'm not going to say bad, not a real good offensive line in the Cincinnati Bengals, but what that D-line did with the twisting with Von Miller and already Aaron Donald, he's a beast in itself. But yeah, don't wait until the end to turn the heat up. Come out swinging from Jump Street. This is Super Bowl, man. There is no tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt. So he finally turned the heat up. And I think the other big thing was everybody talked about is you mentioned Aaron Donald being a beast. Well, you got to turn the beast loose. And what they finally did was, as you know, Tyrone, anytime you put a player over the center, it eliminates your ability for that center to kind of come back and double team. And so that's what happened. They kind of had a linebacker right over the center's nose, or they shifted another lineman there, and it created a problem. And once Aaron Donald was no longer double team, well, you already know what happens when a beast gets loose. And he certainly showed why he has been a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. So, yeah, kudos to the Rams. Matthew Stafford, monkeys off his back. Now there's another guy named Matt. He's thinking, man, please let me do that same thing. Let me get the monkey off my back so I can show people that certainly I'm a top quality quarterback. And yeah, I mean, Cooper Kupp, he had a season for the ages. I mean, we all talk about, over the longevity of time. Jerry Rice obviously being the greatest receiver, and some people said until very recently with Tom Brady, the greatest football player ever. But Cooper Kupp, as far as a one-season extravaganza, that guy had the greatest season we've ever seen from any wide receiver at any era. So a big shout out to him. And you know what the funny thing is about it is, Tyrone, I know you must love this, not the biggest, not the fastest, and not the strongest. Matter of fact, he doesn't look anything like a Megatron or Julio Jones, and yet he was the man.
See, that's a false perception that people use, man. The eyeball. You can't go off the eye.
Oh, hold on. I somehow muted you, buddy. Hold on 1 second. Let me unmute you. Hold on. I had to unmute you. Go ahead. Come on back. Say it again, please.
All right. If I could remember what I just said, it's off. I got to catch me in the heat of the moment. But I was just talking about the eyeball test, and that's where a lot of people mess up, the eyeball test. Doesn't the word of God tell you not to look at the appearance of a person? So again, you look at the spirit of a person. In this case, with an athlete, you got to look at that burning passion. They did the same thing with Tom, looking at the eyeball test. And then afterwards, after the person goes out there and proves them wrong, now everybody wants to say, oh, well, this and that. But Cooper Kupp been doing that all season long, man. He been doing it. That's why he's on my boat. He been doing it all season long. This wasn't just no Super Bowl appearance. He been doing it all season long, okay? The man, he got the most receptions, the yards, touchdown. He won a triple crown. it wasn't just no Super Bowl thing, man. Come on, let's be real. The guy's good. He's good. So again, and as far as the defensive strategizing, this is the difference between teams that win and teams that don't win. Okay, as soon as you recognize that they taking the center and knocking off Aaron Donald, you got to make that adjustment in the first quarter, man. You don't make that adjustment in the fourth quarter. I'm like, again, that's me coming from a coach that's what he's all about, adjustment. Not comparing these two coaches, but myself being in that Belichick system, he wouldn't have waited to no fourth quarter to make that adjustment. Okay, so again, to me, that's just me being called a spade a spade. Call a spade a spade. But Cooper Kupp, I think he's going to have a heck of a season next year because he can do it from the one spot, which is the outside, and he can do it from the slide as well. So that's why I think he's going to have a pretty good career. So Cooper Kupp, fill your cup up, baby. Ching, 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 ching.
Wow. No doubt. Let's go to social media here. Of course, our man Todd has been waiting. And, of course, he had to make sure to let me know how bad my technology was. He said, preacher, maybe a public library would have better Wi-Fi for you. LOL. Thank you, Todd. Thank you so much. Well, Todd also says, Mr. Goodell was on the phone with the ref on that last drive for Los Angeles. All I always say, better business for LA to win. And he said, Tyrone, the ref was the MVP. LOL. Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, I was the lone host that picked Cincinnati. I did that just because I didn't want anybody to pick LA. And, I don't know what to say. Did they make a couple of things to point on that game? Number one, the calls down the stretch, a lot of that was Cincinnati's fault, not playing disciplined football. As far as the Cooper Kupp thing, I don't think anybody thought that this guy wasn't the man going into the game. I mean, like I said, again, the guy, Triple Crown winner, as you mentioned, Tyrone, earlier, already had 2 stellar performances in the other playoff games. I just think that I think that he did what every star athlete wants to do. He wants to at least be the same level of star he was during the season or better, and Cooper Kupp did what he had to do. I mean, he played the same way he played during the season. When the chips were down, whether he was double covered, triple covered, Matthew Stafford said, hey, man, I'm going to throw you the ball, okay? And that was it. And he made the plays he had to make, including, obviously, the touchdown. Now, Tyrone, did you feel bad at all for your fellow defensive back, Mr. Eli Apple? Because, dude, he got beat on both the TDs.
It wasn't just Eli Apple. It was Jalen Ramsey, all of them. Like, it's players hard.
Yeah, but it looked.
So, none of them really you can sit and say it was Apple had a bad game. Jalen Ramsey didn't have a good game either. So, Terrible. At the end of the day, that is a tough position. That's a tough position to play. And when you don't use good technique, you make it even worse. Make it even tougher, should I say.
Yeah, speaking of that, what do you think about Ramsey making that kind of foolhardy move to try to jump the route and, giving up a lot of yards there down the stretch on that on one of those drives that Cincinnati had late in the game? I mean, to me, he seemed like he was trying to do too much the whole game.
Well, actually, I have no problem with what he did. What I do have a problem with is the angle that he took. That's the only thing that I disagree with. If he had jumped it but took the proper angle, went at the upfield shoulder, and then noticed that he couldn't get there, he could have made the tackle. But when he took his approach to break on the ball, he took the wrong angle, and he took himself away from the receiver instead of taking himself towards the receiver. So once he couldn't get there, the ball got there before he did. Again, bad technique in that situation. That takes nothing away from him being a good cornerback. But again, in this game, playing defensive back is all about angles, man. I don't care how fast, how quick you are. If you take the wrong angle, I'm telling you, the quarterbacks are what makes the NFL. It's the quarterbacks. They put that ball out there. That ball is already in the air before that receiver comes out his break, man. So, I don't disagree with what he did. The aggressiveness, I love it. I like it, but it's just his angle.
There you go. Well, Tree, I know you had to be excited being a defensive queen. The play from Mr. Aaron Donald on the defensive line. What do you think about him and his ability to finally get this ring after these years of being great for so many years in the NFL?
Yeah, I think it's great for him to get the ring this year and then also have 2 of the biggest plays at the end of the game that just really sealed the deal for them. I think that also just makes it even more special. But the fact that he finally has the ring, I think is really phenomenal. I'm very happy for him because he is a very dominant defensive player. And as we all know, defense is what wins championships.
No doubt. Well, listen, want to take a quick break. Before we go to a break, leave it for Todd to give us some more shots fired before the game. Now, Todd, this is what Todd says. He says he wished he was invited to Mr. Calvin Ridley's Super Bowl party, posted his video on Instagram, and said that he was on a boat with 6 women that apparently were not his wife. Now, I didn't know Calvin Ridley was married. If so, Calvin, hopefully those were just like your sisters and aunties, I hope. Well, anyway, listen, we'll be back with more of the Real Talk Sports Show. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back with more show. Stay tuned.
Are you in the market for a new vehicle? Well, check out Allen Vigil Ford Lincoln in Morrow, Georgia. We have one of the largest inventories in our area for both new and pre-owned vehicles, so we're sure to have something for everyone. Family owned and operated since 1982, customer satisfaction is our #1 priority. Come see our full lineup of vehicles and find the one that best fits you. Give us a call today, 678-726-5739, or shop us 24/7 online at allenvigilford.net. Did you know that Allen Vigil Ford in Morrow, Georgia also has Lincoln? Over 35 years of using the Vigil Touch to provide excellent customer service, works hand in hand with the Lincoln Motor Company to provide a luxurious and seamless way to acquire your next luxury vehicle. Lincoln has an array of full-service complimentary owner benefits. These benefits include hospitality partnerships, service pickup and delivery, all which can be accessed through the Lincoln Way app. You can even contact the 24/7 concierge to have someone assist you. Come and see our great inventory of new and pre-owned Lincolns today. Call 678-364-7345 to make an appointment with one of our brand champions, or shop 24/7 online at allenvigillincoln.net.
Yeah, definitely, guys. If you're in need of a vehicle, you can give me a call. Call me on the cell, 678-410-9833. I'll be more than happy to help you or your family and friends to get into a brand new vehicle or a pre-owned vehicle, because we have a lot more of those right now than new vehicles with all the chip shortage and things going on in the environment. Back to a little bit more Super Bowl talk. A lot of the big buzz they were talking about around the Super Bowl is the idea of Coach McVay having a treat. Wait a minute. We have another co-host that's appeared. Is that Sparkle making an appearance?
That is Sparkle. She was on my lap the whole time, but now she just went to the floor.
She said, hey, I wanted to try to jump in and get a few words in about Super Bowl. But anyway, what do you think about the idea? Everybody's talking about Sean McVay, a coaching tree. Now, he said he's a little bit too young to have a coaching tree. I would think if anybody, the coaching tree technically would probably be Mike Shanahan, whose son Kyle Shanahan was with all those guys in Washington. To me, I mean, I don't know. Do you think that narrative, they kind of pressing that a little bit too much, Tyrone? What do you think? This whole idea about a 36-year-old guy having this coaching tree already?
I'm a firm believer that the student is only as good as the teacher, and the teacher is only as good as the experience that the teacher has been exposed to. And I don't think Sean McVay has been exposed to enough experience to actually say that he got a treat. Now, does he have some seeds coming up out the ground? Yeah, probably so. But he hasn't been through enough to actually say that he got a coaching tree. When I think of a coaching tree, I'm thinking of Bill Walsh. I'm thinking about his coaching tree. And then you look at Mike Holmgren, who comes from the Bill Walsh. He put a couple guys out there, Mike Shanahan, but they all come from a tree that dropped some seeds. And those seeds turned into trees. So right now, I agree with you. I don't think he's got enough experience. He's like 36 years old. He hasn't been around enough to actually have enough coaches to come from up under him to go out there and have success.
Yeah, because I mean, really, at the end of the day, I mean, they talked about Cincinnati coach obviously being on his staff a couple of years ago when the Rams went there. But I just think that it's interesting to me how the media always seems to have some type of narrative or story. So the big story was Sean McVay, the coaching tree, and the fact that also he might consider, quote unquote, stepping away from the game to get into the booth. Tree, what do you think about this idea of a coaching tree? And were there any stories that you thought about the Super Bowl that you kind of say that was kind of interesting, or they kind of overdid it?
Yeah, first of all, with the coaching, I agree with Tyrone, and where it comes from experience, and that's pretty much what it is. And sometimes you can get it from you get it from being around the game, but you can also do a lot of research that can help in studying plays and things of that nature. But as far as the stories pertaining to the Super Bowl, we know there were plenty of them. One of the ones that was my favorite, and of course I'm more than likely biased, is the one that they did on Matthew Stafford and his wife. A lot of people do not realize, but his wife had a brain tumor, and so she underwent brain surgery and had to get the tumor removed and all of that. And so I know how that struggle is and how difficult that is. And so that's always been a soft place in my heart for Matthew Stafford and his wife. And that was my favorite story that they covered, as well as the Whitworth story, just watching his tape of the many different charities that he helped and the many people that he helped. I mean, it wasn't just one or two or 5 or 10 causes. Like, he has done so much for the communities, and I just really was just blown away. So those are my 2 favorite stories over Super Bowl weekend with the things that they covered.
Yeah, that's one thing that's nice about Super Bowl. They always try to make sure, like I said, again, outside of the hype narrative that they do, the cool thing is, like you said, they really get a chance to talk about, people that were doing some great things in the community. Another thing I want to get back to you on, Tree, kind of your sensibility. They introduced some of the Hall of Famers, new Hall of Famers. What do you think about that? I know that's something you've been a part of over the years.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm very excited whenever we get new members into the Hall of Fame family. It's going to be wonderful. So I'm so excited to welcome these guys in and their wives at the wives luncheon that we do. And of course, I mean, everybody wants to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and just the activities that we have and the way that the guys welcome the new guys in. It really is just very touching. And this is a time that you see a lot of grown men cry because it's just such a special moment. So I was just grinning from ear to ear as they were announcing the new members and the new class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, definitely cool stuff. I had a chance actually to interview a few years back Dick Vermeil when he was here in Atlanta. He stopped by the Atlanta Touchdown Club. He was a guest speaker, and just a real humble guy, nice guy, a fellow believer. So it's kind of cool to see him, especially as advanced age. You know, Dick Vermeil was kind of like, he was Sean McVay before Sean McVay. He was with the Eagles back when he was like in his late 30s, I think early 40s. Got the Eagles to the Super Bowl, did not win, and then had to wait almost 20 years before he could get back there with the Rams, and then finally win that Super Bowl. So yeah, definitely great to see him out there. And a local guy, Richard Seymour, is in as well. And Tyron, what do you think about the new way they do? I don't know if you saw it, the clips of the new way they kind of induct the guys, or at least let the guys know at the announcement. Now that the other gentleman is gone, they kind of shifted now to players that are in to go out there and give guys the announcement. What do you think about that?
Whoever the person selects, that's the person that basically they select, and that person must really mean something to them. So bottom line, you're in the Hall of Fame. Hey, that's great. That's great. So I have no problems with it.
Yeah, definitely good stuff. And like I said, it was kind of cool to see the commercials now with the actual players that are in the hall going out, like with Ty Law ran out there and went and gave it to Richard Seymour. And it just was kind of cool when also to see just these guys that you played with them or your coach, to now see them come out. And it's like when you see them, like, oh, man, they got the gold jacket on it. Oh, okay, I know I'm in. So it was like definitely a cool moment there. Now, every year the Super Bowl has commercials. All right. I'd like to know from you guys what were some of your favorite commercials that you saw during the Super Bowl. Tree, I'm going to go back to you first. What were some of your favorite commercials? Or do you have one in particular that say, hey, that was kind of cool?
Man, that's kind of tough. There were so many great commercials. Ooh, I would say one of my favorites, and not because of what it stands for, because it's actually a betting commercial, I think. But I love seeing the commercial with LeBron James talking to his younger self. And his younger self is asking him these questions, and he's saying, well, I can't tell you everything, but just make sure, that you believe in yourself and you do things your way. And I love that because that's great advice to give your younger self. And that's one of the commercials that really stand out to me. But honestly, there were so many great commercials. It was like, I needed to go to the restroom, and I didn't even want to go to the restroom because it's like, man, I don't want to miss a commercial. Man, I don't want to miss the game. It's like, where am I going to go? So then I had to just go real quick and run back and all this. But it was just, all the commercials were just really so good. I enjoyed all the commercials.
Tyrone, did you have one or two that you kind of say, hey, man, I kind of like this one?
You know what? Really, I think when they went to commercial, that was kind of like my time out. I think I really got up and go get something to drink, and then I came back and sat back down. So really, the commercials. I know a lot of people watch the Super Bowl for the commercials and the halftime show, but I guess I treat it like a player. I'm like, hey, this is time for me to go get another slice of pizza or get something to drink, and then come back and sit down. Because while the game is going, I'm like, I can't move right now. I got to stay right here so I can see everything. And then once the commercial come up, I know I got about a minute to get up and go get something and come sit back down. So really, to be honest with you, I'll agree with Tree. I did see the one with LeBron James. I thought that one was a good one because we all at some point would say, I wish I could go back and talk to my younger self, and I would tell myself this, that, and the other. So I did like that, but yeah, so that's the truth. But if I had to jump in the time machine, let me say this: I go back to that Mean Joe Green, what was that, Coca-Cola?
Yes, sir. Back in the day, yes, sir. Yep.
Okay, so I do remember some commercials.
Tyrone, your answer was. I liked the LeBron James commercial. One of my favorites was the one where they had Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I can't remember the actress now, the Latin actress that were playing Zeus. They were like, okay, man, we're like tapping out. We don't want to be like up on the hill, be the gods anymore. We're going to come down to earth. And just like him, like having a guy, hey, man, hey, I need a little charge on the golf cart. And it's just like constantly doing stuff. I find that kind of funny. That one was good. I liked the LeBron one. And there was one other one that was pretty good. Oh, yeah. When the kids were playing the video game, actually the Madden game, and all of a sudden the players came out. Right, they came in the house, tore the house up, and then they were like, okay, this is the final play of the game. They said, Peyton, you're gonna run it. He's like, what? Run? And it just I kind of like that. That was pretty cool.
That was a good one.
Those are my three favorites. All right, let's go back to social media here.
Real quick. I love the one with the pet robot dog, where he was the guy, and then when he was going to finally jump on the car, and then his battery died, and then the guy picked him up, and so he found a home. That one was so touching to me as well.
Yeah, and now that electric vehicles are being back in vogue, the cool thing was while the car was charged, he put like an auxiliary charge on the dog. And those, I'm back, I'm awake. Yes, that definitely was a pretty good one. Let's go to social media here. Our man Todd is asking the question here. He said, okay, can someone explain to me how Joe Buck is in the Hall of Fame and Tommy, now he says Novus, actually Tommy Nobis is not in. And he's talking about the late, great Atlanta linebacker, Tommy Nobis. I want to say he was either the first or second Falcon ever drafted out of the University of Texas. Same thing, I had a chance to interview him a few years before he passed. If you go back and look at the stats, obviously Dick Butkus was the dominant player in that era, also along with Ray Nitschke from the Packers. But Nobis was right there with those guys, always amongst the lead leaders in tackles, for a very bad Atlanta team, was a stalwart of that team, played here for 10 years. And for years, he was called Mr. Falcon. So hopefully he will be, positively inducted so his family could at least have that honor, sometime in the not too distant future. So Todd, I'm with you. Yeah, Tommy Nobis was the bad boy, tackling machine here for the Falcons. If you guys, you're going to have to go into Google because he played in the 60s and 70s, folks. So Tommy Nobis, Nobis. Put it in there.
Wait, he played in the 60s and 70s?
60s and 70s, yeah. He, I think he was the first round draft pick of the Falcons back in 1966.
So is he
played
still
from
eligible?
there to. I don't know. I don't know when they stop. I don't know how they do that.
I don't know. I mean, I know that you get some seniors, but I know that I know there's a cutoff because there was somebody that my husband had wanted to get in and he couldn't understand. He was hoping he got in, but he was saying how if he didn't make it in that last year, he wouldn't be eligible anymore. So I don't know. But I do know there's a cutoff at some point, I guess, for the modern era and then with the seniors.
Right. Well, hopefully the cutoff time is not there. Like I said, Tommy Nobis was a beast, one of the best Falcons ever. And like I said, that's why he was called Mr. Falcons. And actually dominant player at the middle linebacker position.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, honestly, it's you hear of so many great players that don't get in, and it's really tough to get in. A lot of
The day has arrived. It's time to let more people know about your business. You have the right marketing plan and the messaging in place. But do you have the right messenger? Good advertising and promotions need a professional sound so the message can be clearly understood. Don't leave your brand image to chance. Let our team of voiceover experts at CME lend you a hand. Give us a call at 678-304-8121 to find out how we can partner with you to give your business its voice.
All right, we're back here. The black screens have gone. We are back here in the middle of it here. You're watching the Real Talk Sports Show. Listening to the Real Talk Sports Show. I'm your host, Minister Jonathan Simmons. Right next to me, the Queen, the Mystery Dolman, is here, and the two-time world champion and Fort Valley State Sports Hall of Famer, the one and only Mr. Tyrone Poole, is in the building as well. Yeah, so we're just asking you guys. We'll ask you if those of you watching and listening, what was your favorite commercial? Did you have one that you like? If so, you can type it right in to social media, and we will actually see it and put it up on the screen. So again, if you have some comments, you want to talk about what your favorite commercial was, please let us know, and we will pop you right on there so you can be a part of the show as well. It's interesting. Today, Queen, I work for those of you who obviously see the commercials. I work for a car dealership. I had to go pick up a client today at the airport, and I saw another Queen in the airport. I saw a young lady. It was so funny. I saw this statuesque young lady, very elegant, come walking through. She was kind of meandering around. I noticed she had like a plexiglass case, and I looked. I said, "Wait a minute, there's a crown in there." And I could not resist. I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, are you a real queen?" She said, "Oh, yes." And she told me the pageant. I think she told me something USA. Anyways, I guess the pageant in Vegas, and she was, I guess, kind of just passing through. But yeah, I actually saw. It's only the second one. Because the Queen was so nice when we were on the Real Talk Sports Show on the radio, she actually brought the full tiara in, and so we saw it in person. Pretty nice. So it's the second time I saw an actual crown. Go ahead, dear Tyrone.
I know we're about to move away from the Hall of Fame thing, but I just had to repeat what who I think is one of the greatest cover guys to ever play in the NFL. And this is what he said about Hall of Famers. This is Deion Sanders, quoting Deion Sanders, all right? The question is, Deion says, what is a Hall of Famer now? It is a guy who played a long time. That's what he's on Dan Patrick's show. He said it's all screwed up. Once upon a time, a Hall of Famer was a player who changed the darn game, who made you want to reach in your pocket and pay your admission to see that guy play. That's not a Hall of Famer anymore. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry, you're a Hall of Famer. You're a Hall of Famer. You're a Hall of Famer. They let anybody into this thing. It's not exclusive anymore. And he says, I don't like it. So,
well, I'm going to disagree with that.
When
it comes to the
Here we go.
Hall of Fame,
when
you look at NBA and Major League Baseball, yeah, I see that they let a lot of people in, but everybody knows that the Pro Football Hall of Fame is the most exclusive club in all of sports. There's only 300, and I forgot the number that they just emailed us after this new class of 8. I think 378, something like that, members in over 100 years. So they don't just let everybody into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The actual number is very, very small compared to all other sports. And I would agree from the people that I know that vote that it is people who change the game. Like, it's not just people who play for a long time, because there's people who go in that haven't played for a long time. They didn't have a long career. I can't remember what his name is, but he got injured. He had a very short career. I think he was in our last Hall of Fame class. He didn't play a long time, but he changed it. And that's just what I hear from people who vote, but they do not let any and everybody into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I don't know about other Hall of Fames, but again, with only 370 something people in over 100 years, we all know that there's hundreds of thousands of people that have played in the NFL. So they don't just let everybody in. I would disagree with that.
All I'm just saying a guy who made a statement, who played the game, who actually was somebody that changed the game. I'm like, Lawrence Taylor changed the game. So I get what he's saying. I get what you're saying too. But at the end of the day, I think they should have tiers. They should have tiers in the Hall of Fame. Like guys that are upper echelon. It's almost like you, Queen, okay? You Well, they let anybody win a beauty pageant. They just so you got to have certain things about you, qualities about you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I can't no, because no, they shouldn't have tiers. The whole point of the Pro Football Hall of Fame is that everybody is on this that they all love about it. It's a brotherhood. Nobody's better than the other. They are all on the same level. So I would have to disagree just from talking to my husband and being around our fellow Hall of Famers. Like, a lot of people just don't get it unless you're there. But I disagree with having different levels. It's all one club. It's one family. It's kind of like when you pledge a fraternity. You're not at different levels. Y'all all the same. It's a brotherhood. Just like with queens, like you said. You know how small of a number it is for queens to actually win a national pageant? Like, it's a very small number. It's less than 1% of the girls that compete that actually win a national pageant. But we're not on different levels. The pageants are on different levels, but you're still a queen and you still can give back in your community. But again, everybody has their own opinion. And of course, I respect yours. I've never played football. I've never played in the NFL. I've only, gone off of what I've heard from people and things that I've seen. But yeah, I definitely respect your opinion. I just, have
what Deion Sanders said. So I'm just reading what Deion said.
Well, again, like, if I see him too, I tell him. Just like when we were on the bus going to one of the events, I disagree with something Mean Joe Green said. So trust me, I speak my mind in front of anybody. I don't care who they are.
And that we know for the queen don't play.
Yeah.
We know that's right. Well, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I think a lot of this, and it's funny because I know he must be at home thinking, man, how on earth is it that I'm not playing, Falcons ain't in it, but all during the AFC, NFC championship and during the Super Bowl, do you know who was trending on social media? Matt Ryan.
Really?
Yes, he was, because now a lot of people kind of had Matt Ryan, Matthew Stafford, the guys in the same generation all kind of lumped together. And so now everybody's saying, is Matthew Stafford, because of the sheer number of stats and the fact he's played, and I think he's in his 12th year, now that he's a Super Bowl winner, is he now going to be a Hall of Famer? And now, of course, people are saying the same thing about Matt Ryan. They're like, okay, well, if Ryan wins the Super Bowl, would he then be considered a Hall of Famer? Because, people start putting the numbers up. Ryan, because he played in a different era, has put up a lot of stats. And he does have at least one MVP under his belt. And if he was to win a Super Bowl title over the longevity of his career, it looks pretty good. That would mean 3 NFC title appearances, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 win, 1 MVP. And even when the coveted thing that Tyrone says, that's the only one that counts. He was actually an AP All-Pro the year he won MVP. So now there's the question, should Matt Ryan be a Hall of Famer if they win the Super Bowl next year?
Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer. Matt Ryan,
we'll see.
Had an opportunity to win 2 Super Bowls. Matt Ryan did not lose some Super Bowls. Okay, let's get that to a point. Okay, he could have had 2 Super Bowls. All right, everybody hollering about it was Kyle Shanahan, it was the head coach. You know what? But nobody's hollering and saying Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan didn't miss that block on Hightower. Yeah. Matt Ryan didn't call the play in from the sideline, but Matt Ryan threw the ball where it's supposed to be. And you look at his numbers, yes, Matt Ryan will be in the Hall of Fame. But you talk about Matthew Stafford, in my opinion, just because you win a Super Bowl, it don't mean nothing.
Say that again, Tyrone. That's what I get tired of hearing all these people saying, oh, this person won a Super Bowl, they're going to the Hall of Fame. People, do your research. Look at how many people, like I said, that are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Look at so many people with stats. Just because you win a Super Bowl does not mean that you are going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Sorry. I mean, yeah, I wish more people would get in, right? Because it's nice. But just because you win a Super Bowl, and I love Matthew Stafford. He's my quarterback. He always will be my quarterback. Do I hope that he goes in one day? Yes, of course. But just because you win a Super Bowl doesn't mean you're going into the Hall.
And of course, Tyrone answered the question that you popped up earlier. Is Matt Ryan a Hall of Famer? He gave you the explanation. He said Matt didn't change nothing in the game, transcend anything. He just played a long time. And then he finally said, Tyrone, are you on medication? So I'm not Always Todd throwing a few shots as he best he can. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like this. I mean, you compare guys in the era they played in. So at the end of the day, I mean, here's what I tell Falcons fans: forget about the Hall of Fame for just a second. If you went to Falcons fans when Matt Ryan got drafted, people forget that the city was in uproar, the Michael Vick situation was going on. If you had told them that, okay, this new guy we're drafting is going to play 12 years and he's going to get us to back-to-back winning season, which had never happened with Michael Vick. He's going to give it to playoffs his first, I think, 4 of his first 5 years. He's going to bring you to 2 NFC championship games and to a Super Bowl. I get every Falcons fan, oh, for real? They would have signed on. Oh, and four Pro Bowl appearances, or 5, I think. Everybody would have said, oh, man, that's great. That's great for a number 3 pick. I'll take that all day long. But because he didn't do it with a certain amount of swag and style, everybody, oh, he's a clown. But, I mean, like you said, Tyrone, if you go back, like they just had something, they had the 100 greatest plays in Super Bowl history. Play number 31 is the Matt Ryan flushed out of the pocket on the dead run strike to Julio where he makes that sensational catch on the sideline. That's considered one of the greatest plays in Super Bowl history. And had they won, it would probably been in the top 10. And we can say, did Julio make the catch? He did, but Ryan was flushed out of the pocket on a dead run, put that ball out there where it could be caught. So I'm with you, Tyrone. I mean, the more I look back on this game, the more it really was what Thomas Dimitroff and some of the coaches said. It was execution by the players, lack of it. Missed blocks, holding penalties twice. Jake Matthews, a guy that's been, not give him credit, he's not been injured much. He's been solid on the line. But that Super Bowl, he had a bad game.
And actually, the Falcons could have gone to the Super Bowl that year. They let the 49ers come in here and beat them.
That's correct.
They could have been to the Super Bowl 3 times. But also, I want to throw this out there. Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl. Dan Fouts never won a Super Bowl. Warren Moon never won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
All right. Matt Ryan never won a Super Bowl. But Dan Marino, Dan Fouts, Warren Moon, where are they?
Yep. So true.
And I'll give you I'll also kind of give a little plug to what you said earlier, Tyrone, about the idea of being a game changer. A lot of people, when they look at this guy's stats, they go, what the heck is this guy in the Hall of Fame for? And that's a guy that played not too far from where I grew up, wore number 12, Mr. Joe Namath. The reason why I named him in the Hall of Fame is not because of his stats. Got nothing to do with that. It's because he helped change the game. Those Jet teams, now, if you go back and look at the stats and look at the game, you kind of think maybe something shady was going on. But at the end of the day, the Jets pulled off one of the greatest upsets in sports history at that time. And it helped cause the merger of 2 leagues. People forget before that game, the AFL was considered to be a joke because the Packers had won the first 2 Super Bowls by 20-plus points. Everybody was saying it's a joke. And the Jets came in an 18-point underdog. In a Super Bowl, 18-point underdog. And this young guy, Brashley, said, because they kept poking him, hey, man, we're going to win this game. And then they went out and won against who was the GOAT at that time, Johnny Unitas. And the Colts, who people were saying, if you go back and check the historical record, the Colts came into that game 13-1. They'd outscored their 2 playoff teams that they played against in postseason. I think it was like 60-25 or something crazy like that. They were considered one of the greatest teams ever. But because Joe Namath decided, hey, this is going to be my season to do it. He also the first quarterback to throw for 4,000 yards, which was unheard of back then in either league. So that's why he's in. So, yeah, longevity, that's one point I agree with Dion about. You don't have to be there in a long time. Gale Sayers, I think he played 6 years. But he's in the Hall of Fame because he came in and he was before Debo Samuels, before Cordell Patterson, there was Gale Sayers doing it at a crazy level. This guy scored 6 touchdowns by himself in a single game. 6.
Yeah.
In a rainstorm on a muddy track. So, this is the type of thing that definitely gets rewarded. And you also reward a guy. You can't.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I know. I was going to say, they also look at what you do off the field. I think a lot of people forget about that too. Hall of Fame stands for a lot of pillars that we have, and what you do off the field, your charity work also plays a part in it. And that's why, and a lot of people also don't realize how many times that the Hall of Fame voters vote, and you have to get to a certain level in each of those votes. And that's what makes the process so difficult. But yeah, they do look at all of that.
HE points out another couple of guys. Ken Anderson, the quarterback for Cincinnati Bengals, got the Bengals to the Super Bowl against the 49ers. A tremendous goal line stand by the 49ers, I think, kept the Bengals from winning that game. And he also mentioned, as far as a shortened career, Terrell Davis for the Denver Broncos. Didn't play long, but was dominant in the playoffs and had a 2,000-yard season as well. I think he had two of them. So, yeah, it's your impact. It's all about what you do and how you do what you got to do. We're going to shift gears for a second here before we get off the air because we got to give that guy down there. You see me pointing, guys? There he is. You can see my finger somewhere. I get in there.
No, your finger's off the screen. Okay, there it is.
There we go. That guy over there, down there, Tyrone Poole. He mentioned about 2 or 3 months ago before the NBA season started, and he said it again. He said, you know what? He said, what I'm concerned about the Hawks is that they've never won anything before, and will that affect them in their route to another run in the NBA playoffs? And lo and behold, as the Hawks sit 4 games under 500, is now coming out in the press. That is exactly what happened. Because Clint Capella said, listen, he said, we got complacent. That's what Clint Capella said. He talked about the fact that the team is all about offense, not about defense. And now the rumblings are that several players have come out and said, well, basically, we kind of, Trey said, I'm not kind of into it because it's not postseason. And they said the around the locker room, this team thought they could just turn it on. And one of those things they talked about is the fact that lack of maturity and their success being their stumbling block. So Tyrone Poole, making a call early saying your success could be your stumbling point as the Hawks are meandering around trying to get there. All right. So, Tyrone, I'm going to go to you. What do you think the Hawks are going to need to do? Because they only have, I think, about 30 games left here to move from the 10th spot and to get into a spot like 6, 7, or 8 where they would not have to play a play-in game.
Well, I think right now they're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, and actually they're losing 74-72. Anybody want that quick update? But right now, we talked about every 10 games. How did you fare in the last 10 games? So when we look at the teams at the top, the Heat, the last 10 games, they were 7-3. The Bulls, 7-3. Cavaliers, 7-3. Sixers, 7-3. Hawks, 5-5. And every time we talk about the Hawks, they're like 5-5, 4-6, 6-4. I'm like, you can't win like that. You got to get on some type of streak, something where you can gain some confidence from, consistency. So again, I just think it's consistency and leadership, and everybody, like Tree would say, everybody playing their role, just doing their role, get rebounds. Trey Young, man, take over the team, shoot the ball, make it turn into a Shaq and Kobe, where Clint Capella comes over and say, hey, Trey, hey, yo, pass the ball, man. There's no I in team. And then Trey says, yeah, I understand that, but there's an M and an E in it.
Well, there's no doubt they're going to have to do something to try to get this thing back on point. Tree, what do you think the Hawks need to do to kind of get themselves back together here?
They just have to start playing. they have their moments where they play very good basketball together, where they're playing good defense, they're feeling it, and their shots are just falling. They have to just get it together, and they just have to perform the entire game. You can't just start out strong and then finish weak, or you can't start off weak and finish strong. You have to play hard the entire game, and they have to start getting that together. At this point, I'm really doubting if they will make the top 8. It seems to me like they'll keep pushing their way in for a play-in spot, which of course I don't want, but that's actually what it's starting to look like, is that they will be doing a play-in spot to get to the playoffs. But we'll see. It's up to them. If they're willing to start going hard all game long, then I think they definitely can move up.
Yeah, I think really this team is going to have to get back into what they did during the playoffs. They have to be more aggressive. They're going to have to defensively be very handsy. What I mean by that, you have to constantly on defense be willing to poke your hands in there, try to disrupt the flow of play. The other thing, too, is they're going to need to move the ball around more consistent on offense. What the Hawks always fall into the trap of, it goes to a Trey, it goes to whoever, and they just start dribbling. And that's why a lot of times John Collins gets kind of thrown off, I think, is because they don't have that movement. So they're going to have to move the ball around. The other thing, too, they have to feed the beast. They're going to have to get John Collins the ball, because whether whether people remember this or not, he's your second leading scorer on the team. He's also one of your most efficient scorers on the team. This guy is shooting, I believe, right now, right around 40% from three, and he's shooting over 55% from the 2-point line. So to me, if this guy's one of your best shooters, he should be getting more shots. So that's why I think the key is for them. Move that ball around and get the ball to your boy, JC, more often early in the
I'm
game.
so happy they did not trade him. Listen, the Hawks were about to lose a fan partially if they
I
traded
already
him.
know.
But I'm happy that he's still here. Yay!
I think everybody's happy. Okay, we'll go to social media one more time before we get ready to wrap it up. HC Hardy saying the only team that can lose 10 straight and win 7, then go sporadic. If they don't get into the playoffs, I think some players will be on notice by the ownership. Well, that's happened now. You saw they made the trade with Cam Reddish, and you saw the initial reaction with that. Let's go to Todd here.
He asked for a trade, though.
Well, no, he did, but I'm saying at the end of the day, that was letting them know basically here was a guy that was very highly regarded as part of the Hawks, kind of young nucleus. They say, man, he got to go. He said the hot dogs and Collins are not getting along, preacher. That's the problem. Well, we kind of heard some rumors about that. And he said, especially if the Knicks slide in, that's true. The Hawks have to get into that 6, 7, or 8 spot. All right, guys, we got to get it wrapped up here. So you know how we do it. We always go around the horn to make sure that you guys know how to find all of our co-hosts here. So, Mr. Tyrone Poole, the floor is yours.
Tyrone Poole, 38, all social media. And also check out my link tree at Tyrone Poole 38. So everything about me, link tree.
There we go.
38. So no pun intended, Miss Tree, but link tree, Tyrone Poole 38. And that take you to everything that I do on social media.
Tyrone Poole, you got me so messed up when you said the link tree. I actually put trees banner around you, so I had to get it straightened out. So you can see, guys, it's simple. At Tyrone Poole, number 38. All right, brother, we appreciate you. Until next week, God bless.
All right, you guys. Peace.
All right.
That was funny.
Ms. Tree Dolman, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. You can find me on all social media at It's Latresa, as well as Ms. America International 2021.
There we go. All right. Let's we'll just everybody stay tight here. Let me see if I can go back here. There we go. All right, guys, you get to see my ugly face now. That bad lighting. That's okay though. Look, I'm gonna kind of shift it around a little bit. See who's behind me? Look, see? I got the tree in the picture still. Isn't that beautiful? There you go. All right, guys. Like I said, you can follow me anywhere on social media. Check me out here at Minister J Sim, or you can follow the show itself at Real Talk Sports 7. You guys know I am a minister of the gospel, so I implore you, please, ma'am, please, if you don't know Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, please get to know him today. Absolutely nobody loves you like Jesus. He came here. He died for you. All you have to do is believe, and 2 great things happen. Number 1, you become a citizen of the kingdom of heaven. And number 2, you become an adoptive child of God and have all the rights therein. That means now you can go to God as your Father now. Ask for anything that you need or desire, and according to his will, that you will get it. And you go to that great place called heaven when you die and avoid that nasty place called heaven, that nasty place called hell, where everything is bad and you're cut off from God and Jesus forever and a day. I don't know about you, but like option number 1 better than option number 2. All right, everybody, until next time, God bless you and have a magnificent rest of your evening. So long now.